Hey guys, today I'm going to be bringing you a guide on how to build up an army of alts to make gold in Battle for Azeroth. Though this guide is partially based on speculation, I'm still very confident that it'll be fairly accurate coming into Battle for Azeroth, and will be helpful information for anyone who wants to make some extra gold. So welcome to my guide, where I'm mainly going to be talking about how to set up your alts to optimize the class order hall post-Legion. So before we start, I have a few disclaimers to make. The first being that this following guide assumes that you've completed your class order hall campaign on your character and have at least progressed through Argus quest enough to unlock most of the missions. Doing the Argus questline is also beneficial because it also unlocks the fastest way you can possibly gear up your followers. And lastly, this guide also assumes that you know how to optimize your champions in terms of which ones to pick and how to gear them up. If not, you can check out my older videos. With all that being said, let's start with part 1. How to profit from your order halls post-Legion. In order to determine how we're going to make money from order halls in Battle for Azeroth, we're going to make an educated guess on which missions will be retained and which type of missions will be removed. So the ones I think will be retained are Blood of Sargeras, Primal Sargerite, Reputation Tokens, Pet Charms, Raid Quest plus Legion Gear, Defiled Augment Runes, Veiled Argonite, Champion Equipment, Champion EXP, and flavor items such as pets and toys. The ones I think will be removed are gold missions, artifact power missions which won't be important anyway, and PvP quests, which include Marks of Honor. So the ones that I underlined are what I think will be most important for making gold in Battle for Azeroth. The first one being Bloods of Sargeras, which can be used in crafting, sustaining your order hall resources, or exchanging for raw mats. Now, the things you can craft with Bloods of Sargeras that will still be relevant in Battle for Azeroth are the Felcore Hound Harness made by blacksmiths, the Trigger Pet made by engineers, with these two being the best in my opinion. Then we have the toys, the Leylight Brazier made by enchanters, and the Chatterstone made by jewel crafters. Then finally the Mecha Bond Imprint Matrix made by engineers again, which can help hunters track and tame mechanical pets. Transmog will likely be very relevant as well, and I think crafted legendaries will get nerfed in Battle for Azeroth. After Bloods of Sargeras, we have Primal Sargerite, which will be used for trading for raw mats or for crafting transmog. We have Reputation Tokens, which will not only be used to unlock reputation rewards, but will also later count towards that Reputation Paragon cache, which can contain order hall resources, gold, and even mounts or toys. And finally, we have Pet Charms, which are massively underrated and can be used to trade in for cageable pets and toys. Now I'm going to move into part 2, obtaining order hall resources and the best classes to pick for that purpose. One of the best passive methods for maintaining your order hall resources is using the daily world quest nuke that certain classes have. Though they don't have access to the daily nuke, druids also work because they can run Bloods of Sargeras missions with a net gain. It also helps to get the Boon of the Blood Hunter enchant on all of your alts. And to get this enchant, you only need one character who is revered with the Wardens. Then with that character, simply enchant a BOE shoulder piece and mail it to your alt. As you can see here, I'm using the tailoring crafted shoulder piece, which is very cheap on the auction house. After that, you can simply do world quests, the most efficient ones being High Bloods of Sargeras or High Order Hall Resources quests that only require killing a named elite. You can transfer your order hall resources between alts by buying the caches with Bloods of Sargeras. And finally, you want to remember to pick up your cheap Argus followers every week. So, the classes that have access to this daily nuke are Death Knights, Demon Hunters, Mages, Paladins, Warlocks, and Warriors. Of these classes, the Demon Hunter, Mage, and Warlock also have heart-granting champions that help you sustain your troops, the Argus troops in particular. For your daily world quest nuke, you want to prioritize High Bloods or High Order Hall resources, depending on which one gives you more overall order hall resources. Remember, 1 blood equals 200 order hall resources. If you're gonna craft stuff, which you will if you're gonna be making any money from this, you wanna save some of your bloods for crafting. Another tip is if there aren't any very high bloods or order hall resources quests, you should prioritize the PvP order hall resources quests because they also give honor. Lastly, you'll want to make sure to check Dalaran as well, in case there are any Profession Warlords of Draenor quests around. Now, aside from these aforementioned classes, I also mentioned that druids are very good at maintaining order hall resources. And this is because of the unique follower that they have called Brawl Bearmantle, which actually has a passive that reduces mission costs. In a recent patch, Blizzard made it so that the Bloods of Sargeras missions give the same amount of Bloods of Sargeras as the cost to start the mission. Though I'd give the classes with the daily nukes a slight edge. If you can spam multiple Bloods of Sargeras missions per day, then the druids will definitely win out. As you can see from my example here, the base cost of the mission was 2400 order hall resources, making it so that Brawl Bearmantle saves you up to 720 order hall resources for this one mission. Next, though not related to obtaining order hall resources, I thought I'd mention the Rogue, because they're the only class that receives a weekly quest in their class order hall that gives them 5,000 gold for a little bit of work. And with this special pickpocketing currency, they can also purchase 2 different pets that are cageable and can be sold on the auction house. Now, moving on to part 3. Which professions are the best to have that are complemented by the Legion Order Hall? A profession that synergizes very well with the Order Hall is blacksmithing. This is solely due to the fact that you can use Bloods of Sargeras to craft a mount which you can sell on the auction house. Again, as a reminder, in Battle for Azeroth, you don't have to spend your Order Hall resources on gold missions anymore, which frees you up to spend it on other stuff like Bloods of Sargeras. And besides that, along with other crafting professions, you can sell transmog, and for blacksmithing you can sell the Pandaria Reborn weapons, which I think will increase in value in Battle for Azeroth as people will be less obsessed with their artifact weapons. I also think it's going to be a strong profession going into Battle for Azeroth, as mentioned in my other speculation video. Another good profession to have would be engineering, because they can also craft a big ticket item using Bloods of Sargeras. Besides this, most of the other engineer mounts and some pets from older content are great sellers. You can also consider having more than one engineer, with one covering Gnomish engineering and another covering Goblin engineering. Finally, another good profession to have would be inscription, because you'll be able to trade in your bloods for herbs, then mill them into ink and craft them into glyphs. Inscription will also be strong going into BFA because of the new contracts that they can craft, which increases reputation gains with your BFA factions. The one last thing I wanted to mention here is when you're considering your professions, above all else, you want to prioritize having at least one of each crafting profession, which includes mining, by the way, because you'll be able to cover a diverse array of markets and also be able to benefit from synergies between your professions, such as smelting ore to give to your blacksmiths. And with that, we'll move into our 4th and final part, covering miscellaneous tips. My first tip for you is to unlock the Kosumoth World quests on as many alts as you can. I've linked Mad Season Show's guide for your reference. The reason I'm telling you to do this is because of this Hungering Claw pet. It already is a pretty valuable pet and will become even more valuable in Battle for Azeroth. And even if you have an excess of these, you can always sell pets cross-server to even establish a presence on other servers. Now my second tip for you is that the Warlords of Draenor Garrison will still be profitable. Although it likely won't be nearly as good as it was in Legion because of the new bag that tailors can craft that will become the new biggest bag in Battle for Azeroth. Following that, as stupid as it sounds, the Pandaria farm isn't bad either. This is because of how valuable the Pandaria ore has become since they're used in mount crafting. I've linked my guides to both the garrison and the farm in the description below. The next tip is that having more alts also increases the number of daily cooldowns that you can have, such as alchemy transmutes, Hexweave, and Jard's peculiar energy source used to make sky golems. In a similar vein, having more alts means you have more characters for the Darkmoon Fair, which means you'll be able to purchase more Darkmoon Fair transmog pieces per month, to then sell on the auction house. And that is the end of my video. I hope it was helpful, and if you liked it, make sure to give me a like and punch that notification bell so you'll see more guides like this as soon as they come out. Peace out, guys.